To understand the bigger system, you have to understand your inner system. And so for those of you that do not see systems with clear eyes, with only your human eyes, but not your third eye, which is something that you don't look at the image or pictures, you feel the truth through the frequency of the energy that is present, through the factual evidence that is there. You look at the elephant in the room and you address it. You don't sweep it under the rug and look the other way because it's not impacting you. See, I like to face this stuff head on. And what it reveals to me is I've gone within my inner system, which is why I can see clearly. I've dismantled the system I inherited, the parts of it that kept me prisoner. And so that's why now I can see people in invisible chains, tied and tethered to an external system, and they think they're free. They call themselves saved because they're entrapped in an illusion they claim to be reality, but it's not, because it's man-made. Take up space, and I will not deliver the truth with sugar and sprinkles. Sometimes it's going to come out and it's going to burn because it needs to burn through the illusion. See, that's what the system teaches, is for people to not tell the truth too harshly. Watch your tone of voice. What are we protecting when we do that? Why is that so uncomfortable to just say the truth? Here's a perfect example. Anyone that has kids, if my kid pushes their sibling, I'm going to teach them that that's not okay. Now, when I am teaching my son or my daughter, my children, these things, when I tell them that we can't do that and it's bad, that's not negating that there's good within them. When behavior becomes harmful, we must change it, not just look away from it. Why would somebody say and deflect the elephant in the room by saying, well, not all churches are like that? Of course not all churches are like that, but some are. And some that are need to be addressed, because there are people there that are being abused and then abusing others because it's inherited, and it's a generational trauma that lives on through the system, and then the system speaks and lives through you, and when you do that, you infect others. So I want you to hear me when I say this. I see through the mask. I see through your illusions that you are entrapped in. I was once a prisoner of the system, but no longer am I. And I no longer, please hear me when I say this, will not speak truth to keep the peace. Because if truth disrupts the peace, then maybe it was meant to. Because when truth corners you, it sees everything, not just the things you want it to. It sees the good and it sees the bad. It sees you bare beneath the surface, beneath your vessel. God made more than just our physical being. The thing that you see, He created our conscious awareness, our emotional engagement, our feelings, our sensations that live beneath the surface. And when you go into deep and you tell someone it's a mistake, how God made them, and then you say God makes no mistakes, but you're telling them it's a mistake, because you don't understand them. What you don't understand about someone else means there's something about you don't understand, because I understand you. Because I can see you. I can see the people that are trapped in the system and wear the cross and hide behind it as a badge of honor because it looks good. It ain't a good look when you're a prisoner and don't even know it. Believe me, I know. I've been there. I had the chains. But now I'm free from all of it. And you can't shake truth. I'm like a tree that is rooted through anybody's storm. Maybe my tree branches may break. I may sway, but I will always stay. So remember, when you attack a trans person or a gay person or somebody who's different than you, remember, God made more than just the physical vessel. He made what was underneath it, which is essence. And you can't say that was a mistake. We are here to become whole and to experience what it is God intended us to. And that's not for you to claim or to say or to confine. For God made binaries. Yes, there is the sun and the night, but there's also dusk. It's not black or white, it's black, white, and gray. And the in-between is part of the everything that we see. So please take a moment to reflect on why love and truth trigger you, why you want to not confront a hard truth that is causing harm. Reflect on that. Why would somebody tell me I reject the church by rejecting the abuse within the church? I'm not rejecting all church. That would be like rejecting, I reject all white men because one white man raped another person. There's still good in the church. There can be good and bad. That's duality. That's part of it here. That's the bad is what we're here to meet, so we can transmute it with love to make space for more love. And so when someone says, but let's just focus on the good, what you're doing is you're bypassing, spiritually bypassing the harm. No, I've learned to sit with my pain, so I know how to hold pain. I'm not uncomfortable around it. And so, for those of you shaken by truth, maybe it was meant to shake you, to realign you and correct the misdirection that you've been walking. And that's not an attack. That's coming from love from me. I believe in redemption. I believe in transformation. We can't expect Jesus to die for us and then not die to ourselves. And when you do that, and you truly do it, you're free. Nothing can get to you. I want to leave you with this. And I want these words to become a shared breath. And if you're feeling called to say it with me. Rooted in truth, not tradition. Guided by spirit, not systems. unlearning what fear taught in God's name, and walking in the kind of power that only love can offer. And love, so it is, rooted in truth, not tradition, guided by spirit, not systems, unlearning what fear taught in God's name, and walking in the kind of power that only love can offer. And love, so it is. Thing I do want to touch on is boundaries. You know, it's okay to have boundaries during this time when people are, I call it stage 5 infected. You know, there's stages of cancer where I'm sure we all know somebody who we've lost due to it. It's terminal. There's no cure for it. It just, their bodies got too infected and it just, we're out of time, you know, and it's just a matter of time. And people who have stage 5 hate, because I call hate a disease, they're terminal in the fact that nothing you say will break them free. Their thinking mind is gone. And that's what's sad, and a lot of people right now are experiencing that feeling of grief, living grief, because we're mourning people we love, but we also have to protect our energy from people who are speaking rhetoric that's harmful, people who refuse to see the harm even if there's good. It's a both and situation. So if a president's doing good things, it's possible that they are doing bad things. No one is all good. Not one. I'm sure every single president in the United States, if we look at every detail, has done something bad. Does that negate all the good that they do? No. But we should be able to talk about the harm that is being done and that is being perpetuated by systems that are being validated by somebody who is in power. And so when people don't have the capability to hear truth, it means they lost the ability to critically think, and they're ill. This is illness from a system they inherited, and unfortunately it got into their soul stream, not their bloodstream, but their soul stream. And they themselves even may not even know the essence of who they truly are. And that's what's sad, and that's why I have compassion for these people. And if your dad, your in-laws, your sister, your best friend believe in something different than you, even though it's harmful, and you still love them, it's okay to hold both of the duality of the pain and the love that you feel from them. Both can exist. It's hard to hold. And sometimes that means limiting the time you spend with them, or engaging with them, or saying, you know, I don't want to talk about this with you because we're not going to see eye to eye, and I'm not trying to prove myself. I'm just being myself, and I don't want to debate, you know? We're living in a time where all of this darkness that's been living in the silence behind closed doors, there's so much comfort right now in expressing the violence of judgment, because although judgment, you don't see the wounding physically, it does wound people internally. We are more than just our bodies. We are our spirit. We are our soul. And so yes, there can be spiritual wounds that happen through systems misuse. And so when scripture is being misused and abusing those invisibly, just because you can't see it does not mean it's not violent, because it is to the emotional and spiritual body. So our spirit holds us and is supposed to come and express itself through us. What blocks that from happiness is when systems try to confine the spirit by confining the human into binaries. We have to remember it is not a black and white world. God made it that way and makes no mistakes. Remember, the in between is part of everything. So don't sit here and act like the people who are trans or non-binary are an issue when God created them, right? Hand knit them, knows them by name. Why would you say he made a mistake when you can't see what's within until you see yourself within? And when you see yourself within, you see everything. And so what I see in others, I see in myself. And so the reason why I can see others' sickness is because I was once sick from the system. I never used to use my voice in this way because I was scared to be too loud or too harsh or not deliver it too nicely because I am a woman, right? I'm not scared anymore because that old version has been buried. It's called an ego death. It's called grief. Grieving the version you had to be to survive a system that was meant to keep you imprisoned. I broke free from that, so I can see that in other people now. And the system that lives through them and expresses itself through you without even knowing it. It's called a program. And it's an outdated program, and it's time for an upgrade. So you can expand. And once you expand your spiritual energy, that box that you were imprisoned in, just like a lobster breaks its shell, guess what? You break the box. And now that box can't contain you because you broke through it. And yes, when you break through it, you're going to bleed, you're going to cut, and it's going to hurt like, but it's going to be worth it. Because to be reborn is to be free from the system in which used to keep you.